Hi guys, it's story time, and it's another one of those things where you're going to see like, what does this have to do with global studies? Why are you wasting our time and our text? I promise you, this is global studies. We're going to read If You Give a Mouse a Cookie. And you guys might remember this from elementary school or last weekend. I don't know what you read in your free time. So we're going to read this book, and then we're going to make it global studies in a second. If you give a mouse a cookie. If you give a mouse a cookie, he's going to ask for a glass of milk. And when you give him the milk, he'll probably ask you for a straw. And when he's finished, he'll ask for a napkin. And then he'll want to look in the mirror to make sure he doesn't have a milk mustache. And when he looks in the mirror, he might notice that his hair needs a trim. So he'll probably ask for a pair of nail scissors. When he's finished giving himself a trim, he'll want a broom to sweep up, and then he'll start sweeping, and he might get carried away and sweep every room of the house. He may even end up washing the floors as well. And when he's done, he'll probably take a nap. And you'll have to fix up a little box for him with a blanket and a pillow. And he'll crawl in and make himself comfortable and fluff the pillow a few times. And then he'll probably ask you to read him a story. So you'll read him from one of your books, and then he'll ask to see the pictures. And when he looks at the pictures, he'll get so excited he'll want to draw one of his own. And he'll ask for paper and crayons. And he'll draw a picture. And when that picture is finished, he'll want to sign his name with a pen. And then he'll want you to hang his picture on your refrigerator, which means he'll need some Scotch tape. He'll hang up his drawing and stand back to take a look at it. And looking at the refrigerator will remind him that he's thirsty. So he'll ask for a glass of milk. And chances are, if he asks for a glass of milk, he's going to want a cookie to go with it. Now, this book, and I have a second copy right here, a little tiny copy. This book has to do with global studies because it has to do with the rise, and the policies, and then the defeat of Hitler. True fact. I'm not sure that's what Laura Numeroff was thinking when she wrote it, but that's what global studies teachers see in it. So I'm going to read you from this little book, and you might see I've put in some edits. So let's take a look. If you give a mouse a cookie, same book, same pictures, just kind of tiny. Oh, wait. There's some things in here. If you give a mouse a cookie, and there it says Germany. He's going to ask for a glass of milk. And then when you ask for the glass of milk, wait, there's another edit. It says Austria. So Hitler started out the leader of the Nazi Party in Germany. And he's going to spread out. He's going to look for Lebensraum or living space in Austria. That's called the Anschluss. He wanted to unite all German-speaking people. So when you get him the milk, he'll probably ask for a straw. And when he's finished, he'll ask for a napkin. So here by the straw, I have written, I didn't, it came this way, with a little note that says the Sudetenland. You guys will remember the Sudetenland is a little area in Czechoslovakia where they spoke German. So Hitler, like I said, wanted more Lebensraum, and he wanted to unify all the German-speaking people. So he took over Austria on the page before, and now he's taking over the Sudetenland. Oh, and look at that little mouse. He grew a mustache. When he asked for a napkin. When he looked in the mirror, he wanted to make sure he didn't have a milk mustache. So there he is looking in the mirror. Oh, the mirror is labeled Czechoslovakia. So he wanted to unify all the German-speaking land. He started with Austria. He took over the Sudetenland. And then he said, you know what? Those Czechoslovakians, they're junk anyway. I'm taking over the whole country. And look, there is that mustache. When he looks in the mirror, he might notice that his hair needs a trim. So he'll probably ask for a pair of nail scissors. Now, another area that he considered to be kind of junky, not worth being independent, is called Lithuania. And this is in the kind of the Baltic region of Europe. So he took over Lithuania. He invaded. And when he's finished giving himself a trim, he'll want a broom to sweep up. Now, the broom is labeled Danzig. Danzig is a region. It's called the Danzig or the Polish corridor. And it was an area between Germany. It was a little extra land north of Poland where Danzig was. He took that over too. He'll start sweeping, and he might get carried away. Now, Hitler invading Danzig. Hitler invading Poland is what's going to cause World War II. All along, the Europeans said, or the Allies said, all right, as long as you only take over this one little thing. They kept appeasing him, giving in to him so they could avoid war. But once he took over Poland, the party was over. He may even end up washing all the floors as well. And when he's done, he'll probably want to take a nap. He took over Poland. You'll have to fix up a little box for him to take his nap with a pillow and a blanket, and then he'll crawl in and make himself comfortable and fluff the pillow a few times. The pillow and blanket are labeled Belgium. He took over Belgium. And then he'll probably ask you to read him a story. Reading him a story is late. Look at that. I don't know who did this to this book. Northern France. You'll have to read to him from one of your picture books, and he'll ask to see the pictures. And when he looks at the pictures, he'll get so excited he'll want to draw one of his own. Drawing his picture is Luxembourg, a little teeny country, in the middle of Europe, but he took it over. And then he'll ask for paper and crayons. And the paper and crayons is France. Hitler took over all of France by 1940. He had invaded them. He kept a little teeny section, like we'll say right about here. It was called Free France or Vichy France. They got to be independent, but they did whatever the Nazis told them to. But he took over all of France. When the picture is finished, and look at that, he even drew himself with a little mustache. He'll want to sign his name. There he is. With a pen. So now he wants a pen. This is when he's going to invade a region of Europe called Yugoslavia, a very ethnically mixed area. Hitler saw this as being kind of dirty, and they were not worthy of independence because there were so many different ethnic groups there. They should be unified behind one strong European power like Germany. And then he'll want you to hang his picture on the fridge, which means he'll need Scotch tape. Now, this is where the trouble really starts for Hitler. Before this, in the invasion of Russia, Hitler and Stalin, who hated each other, signed a 10-year non-aggression pact. We super-duper pinky promise never to invade each other. It'll never happen. We promise. It was called the 10-year non-aggression pact. And Hitler, about 6 months after signing that with Russia, invaded Russia. Now, up until this point, Russia had stayed out of the war. They'd just finished up the Russian Revolution, and Lenin had died, and Stalin was in charge. And now they're getting pulled into World War II on the side of the Allies. He'll want to hang his drawing and stand back and look at it. And looking at the fridge will remind him. Now, Hitler was not able to defeat Russia easily. He thought they would go down like a sack of potatoes. They didn't. They stayed strong. And look at, there's Hitler. The mouse with his mustache. He'll remember looking at the fridge that he's thirsty. So he'll ask for a glass of milk. At this point, Hitler really wanted to get moving. He wanted to take over more of Europe. So he started to bomb the city of London day in and day out. The London Blitz. He thought this would break the Londoners' spirit, British spirit, but instead they stayed strong. They would go down to the tube or the subways under London and just sit there all night until the bombing was over. Then they'd come up. And it was so weird because if they like bombed a factory, the factory workers would show up at the factory the next day. Even though it was all rubble and all destroyed, they would stand where their machines were for their 8 hours or 9-hour shift and then go home. Kids would go to their school when their school had been bombed and stand there for the time they're supposed to be in school. They were standing in a pile of bricks and some dust, but it's not going to stop us. This blitz is not going to stop us. Coronavirus is not going to stop us. The Blitz of London. Hitler wasted a lot of ammunition and a lot of dollars and a lot of manpower doing this. So he'll ask for a glass of milk. And we know what happens if you ask for a glass of milk. The invasion of Russia, the London Blitz. He's probably going to want a cookie. Hitler was pushed back into Germany. He left a lot of destruction in his path. And he ended up committing suicide. And so, this book, I don't know who edited it like this and added the mustaches and all those European regions, but they were so smart when they did it. It's just like if you give a mouse a cookie.